Barbie is a brand new film from Warner Brothers Discovery, directed by Greta Gerwig. Gerwig also is the co-writer of the film with her husband, Noah Baumbach. The film obviously is about Barbie, played by Margot Robbie, who plays kind of the stereotypical Barbie in this movie. And the moment that she starts questioning not just her existence, but her impact on basically the real world comes at full circle. Ken is also in the movie, played by Ryan Gosling, who is definitely a love interest of Barbie, but at the same time, Barbie isn't into him as much as he obviously is very much into her. He's also going through his all crisis as he also goes into the real world, trying to experience what being a man actually is, and if the way of him being a man in Barbie land is not the way that he should be acting like as a man. There's also is a very star-studded cast. The other Barbies of the film are played by Issa Rae, who is the president of Barbie Land. You also have Barbies like Alexandra Shipp and Emma Mackey. Also in the film is Kate McKinnon as a weird Barbie. Someone's been played with to a unholy way with putting markers all over herself and having her do splits. That's who Kate McKinnon plays in the movie. There's also other Kens in the film, played by Simu Liu and Kingsley Ben Adir. Helen Mirren provides the narration for the film. In the real world, America Ferrera plays someone who works for Mattel, but is struggling with her relationship with her daughter, played by Ariana Greenblatt. And also, Will Ferrell is in the movie as the Mattel CEO, who needs Barbie to go back from the real world back to Barbie Land. The film is an hour and 54 minutes and is PG-13. Welcome back to Brand Review here on Max Talks Movies. Today we're talking about Barbie. Like the video, by the way, guys. Please help support the channel. If you're new to YouTube, it does help the algorithm out if you guys can like that video down below. So please hit that like button. Comment down below. Do you like Barbie? Do you not like Barbie? First of all, I would also all hear different perspectives on it. How much does this movie mean to you, especially if you had Barbie as a toy growing up? Do the messages ring home with you? No spoilers, though, in the comment section down below. Also, if you've not seen it, tell me, are you going to check it out? Or even if you're a guy, you don't feel like this will connect with you, let me know why in the comment section down below. And please like the video and subscribe. Ring the bell if you're new to the channel. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single Monday. So I was actually very excited for this movie. Greta Gerwig, and especially after this movie, has definitely turned into one of my favorite filmmakers. And I really love both Lady Bird and Little Women. And I was very excited to see this movie, obviously, for a lot of reasons. The comedy aspect of it. And I'll definitely say this. The marketing, obviously, I'm not going to say it's deceitful in any way. But yes, it's not this kind of whimsical, quirky comedy adventure movie. This movie definitely has a lot of deep underlying messages that's going on. It's definitely surprised me. We'll get to my positives, the negatives, and then my score. So let's start with my positives on Barbie. So overall, this before we get to the acting and the characters, I really think it's a jaw-dropping film from a filmmaking point of view, both from a direction point of view from Greta Gerwig, but really from a production design point of view, a cinematography point of view, and a costume design point of view. All of them are spectacular. And there are times where you really can't tell what is CGI'd in, what's practical. It's one of the most creative movies I've seen of the year. And it uses its usual Barbie toys in very unique ways. And it really makes you feel a part of Barbie world, Barbie Land, a land that I've obviously never played with a Barbie before. And don't really understand all of it. They really put me in a spot where I felt very comfortable being in there and understanding all of the characters and where they're supposed to be. Now let's move. And again, the production design is gorgeous, obviously, of Barbie Land. The costumes, especially for Ken in this movie, are fantastic. And again, it's a breathtakingly amazing filmmaking performance for Greta Gerwig. She really is the true MVP of this movie. And she has showed so much range already in the 3 movies that she solo directed. She also directed a movie called Nights and Weekends, but she was a co-director on that movie. Her last 3 solo directorial films with Lady Bird, Little Women, and Barbie have so much. They're just not even close to being not even close to each other from a tone point of view, from a filmmaking point of view. They're all 3 very different movies. Again, Lady Bird's a coming of age film. Little Women is let's just say an old timey type movie. And then Barbie is a very different film from those. And I really respect it really does show you the range of Greta Gerwig. I think a lot of directors in Hollywood get kind of shoehorned into one genre or one way to direct, and she's already shown you in her 3 movies they're vastly different from each other. So she's another one these directors think coming up that if a Greta Gerwig's coming out, a Greta Gerwig new movie is coming out, I'll be the first one there because she is in my top 5, maybe even top 10 filmmakers working today. She's unbelievable, and you can really feel that while watching it. Now let's get into this very all-star studded cast. Margot Robbie is, of course, perfect as Barbie, and she's, as an actress, has made a couple bad choices the past couple years, meaning the actual characters themselves and the movies themselves is really haven't been good. Again, Babylon didn't do well. Amsterdam, there have been movies like Mary Queen of Scots. She's left a lot on the table, I think, in the past 5 years. And her movies have not done well at the box office. And based on the predictions, this will be the first time in a long time she is being seen on this wide of a range of people seeing her act. And she is one of the best working actresses of all time right now working today. She is, for a lot of people, just known as that beautiful woman from Wolf of Wall Street. But if you've seen her act the last 10 years, she's one of the best actors of the last 10 years. And she proves that again here. She makes Barbie at times very relatable. She's supposed to be the stereotypically perfect woman. There's a lot of relatability to her character, and she really brings it out. Now, the scene-stealing part of the whole movie, and I think leaps above any of the performances or characters in the movie, is Ken, played by Ryan Gosling. He's always been one of my favorite actors, and this might be his best performance, one of his best performances of his career. He's fantastic in the film, and he brings out all of the comedy, I think, of the movie. And now other characters are funny, but the majority of the comedy really comes through his Ken, and really his dynamic with Margot Robbie's Barbie. He is very much wants this to be a romantic relationship, and she respects Ken a lot and really does not want him to be hurt by anything that she does, but she also doesn't love him in that way. And their dynamic is very unique. And is easily the best part of the film is when the two of them are on screen. But easily the best part of the movie is whenever Ken is on screen, and Ryan Gosling brings it. And it's really because he is just overflowing of charisma that he brings. And he does feel like a true movie star in this movie as well. Again, he's another guy who has struggled at the box office for a long time, but he just felt like a movie star with his charisma, with his comedic timing, with his facial expressions. They were all on point. It's easily one of the best performances of the year so far for me, and hopefully that gets noticed in a couple in for the Oscar season. This is a stacked cast. The other standouts I'd say is America Ferrera also is very good in this movie. Michael Cera also, he plays a character called Alan who's in Barbie Land, but that's obviously not Ken or Barbie. He brings a lot of good comedic relief to the movie as well. Kate McKinnon, not usually my type of comedy, but for me, this character fit her type of comedy really well, and I enjoyed seeing Kate McKinnon. The ensemble itself is a lot of fun. Simu Liu has great bromance with Ryan Gosling as they're both Ken. They both have a bromance and animosity for each other that I enjoyed watching throughout the entire film. And obviously, with the SAG cast, we'll get to it, there are some people who kind of left on the sidelines. And I do really respect the messages that the movie was going for. And I think for a lot of it, it did achieve. We'll get to, again, my negatives in a second. But the overall messaging definitely touched people in my audience. I had someone next to me who was crying at the end of the movie. Again, if it doesn't reach you, it's not for you. I totally get it as well. But for me, I just had a blast watching the movie. It's a very funny movie. It's definitely one of the funnier movies I've seen this year in a theater. And I just really enjoyed myself all the way through. Let's get to my negatives, though, really quickly here. There are a couple of big negatives I do have. I do have a couple negatives with the movie. The first one is everything that has to do with the Mattel CEO, played by Will Ferrell, and that whole subplot just could have been completely cut out of the movie. Now, I know what the movie was going for, but I think every time the Will Ferrell subplot is in the movie just doesn't work, and it's not interesting at all. And this is coming from someone who's a mega, like myself, a mega Will Ferrell fan. He's my favorite comedic actor of all time. And it was really weird to see him, first of all, not be funny. That character was not very funny. I know what they were going for with having the Mattel people all be run by men. But for me, all of the comedy with the Mattel people did not work. And there were points where the movie just completely forgot about them, and as did I. And they didn't really bring them back until like the third act of the movie. I just, everything to do with the Mattel people, I was not a big fan. I think tonally, the movie works for the most part, but there are some instances where the movie can be very cartoony and then drastically go to a serious scene with very heavy messages quickly. Now, as I said, the messaging of the movie I really enjoy. I get what they're trying to go for. There are times where the movie can be quite preachy, or really, I think it's just a bit heavy handed. I wouldn't call the movie preachy as much as really heavy handed, as I would say. Especially there's this feature America Ferrera, which obviously everything that she says in that scene is true, but it's very much heavy handed with the way they want to go about the messaging. They want to tell you everything that they're trying to apply to the movie instead of letting the characters, sometimes it's show, not tell. And I think this movie definitely tells a lot more than shows as it pertains to its messaging. And I think sometimes the movie's a bit overbearing when it's trying to force feed you what the movie's trying to tell you of what this movie's message is about, instead of just letting the characters symbolize what those things are doing. But again, a lot of the time I was very much into the messaging. I mean, overall, this is an all-star cast, and a lot of people did get kind of kind of left on the sidelines, especially Issa Rae as the president version of Barbie. She was very funny in the first like 5-10 minutes of the movie, and she's one of the funniest actors they got, if not the funniest they got on paper in this movie, to be a part of this ensemble. But she doesn't really get anything to do in this movie at all, which was kind of disappointing. And there's some other characters like Kingsley Ben-Adir who you've seen a lot. He was good in the movie, just didn't have a lot to do. So overall, tonally the movie can kind of be choppy at times. They did leave a couple characters on the sidelines. I really did not like the Mattel CEO stuff, but overall, guys, I really enjoyed Barbie. It's definitely one of the better movies I've seen this year. It really comes down to the MVP, which for me is Greta Gerwig, but the MVP on screen, and really both Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie, especially Gosling, who steals the entire movie. So overall, I would give Barbie a 4 out of 5 stars. I am going to go 82% for Barbie. It's an excellent movie. It definitely has some clear issues, but I really do overcome them most of the time with the positives. So that's my thoughts on Barbie. What are your thoughts on this movie? Leave a comment down below. Your thoughts. I'll see you guys soon.